Happy Thirsty Thursday. Today is the slump busting day, guys. I got the picks, done the research, feel really good about it. Let's talk some baseball. Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Keystone. Do me a favor, guys and ladies, before we even get started today, do me a favor and hit that like button. It goes a long way to help your boy out. Baseball's been a little rough this week, guys. This is part of the life of a sports gambler. I'm sure you guys have been through some little slumps before. So when I update the ticker here, I'm almost tempted to take it off because ever since I put this up here, like we've been losing. Now, not all losing days are created equal. It's important you understand that. But the goal is to profit. Now, a lot of guys come in with this mindset where they like this all-in stuff and they really want to spend their 50 to try to win $1,000 or something, and most of the time it doesn't work. So my goal, if you're betting anywhere between 5 and what I bet usually on these DFS slips, 25, specifically talking DFS here, if I can literally help you make about 40 to 50 bucks a day, that really adds up over the course of a month. So doesn't going to happen every day, but if we imagine, when you start looking long term, imagine just to say at the bare minimum, I helped you make about $1,000 just by copying the plays long term per month. That'd be 12 grand a year. But most guys don't have that attitude. I wish it would have went a little better for y'all that signed up on the day pass or the weekend pass. You guys just came in at a really shitty time. We've been so hot, and most of the people that are on the long term passes, we're still in a very healthy spot. We had such a huge March, and really the first until about 5 days ago. Yeah. So we did do some good things, but it wasn't good enough. Again, just baseball's, like I said, it's been a little rough this week. Been a little unpredictable. Morning games, think you have it figured out. I'll probably lighten the load up on player props, specifically try to attack the books a little more. But I do have some today that I really like that I think we need to attack. So we finally hit a dabble slip, so that helped. But the bad news is we pretty much drew even because of it. We hit this one on chalkboard, but once again, it wasn't good enough over there. Pete Alonso, the Mets were terrible, guys. We lost that parlay I gave you guys. They were just absolutely no-showed. Two hits, and Alonso got one of them, hit a single. So, ruined a lot of things. The Dodgers, just went off on Jake Irvin in the very beginning of the game, and then just kind of I think he literally gave up 3 hits, bunch of runs in the first, and then literally gave up 1 hit the rest of the way. It was kind of crazy. A couple close misses right here. One of those 10Xers would have been huge. So, guys, when you're betting on baseball, you have to understand you want to stick with the guys that are hot. First of all, even when a guy say a guy's lifetime 6 for 12, batting 500 against a certain pitcher, and he's facing him that day, doesn't always lead to results if the guy's simply not seeing the ball well. So when you can combine those two things and they still fail, you just deal with it. That's literally the best you can do. These two lefties right here have been extremely hot, and Randy Vasquez had been really struggling versus left-handed pitching. The A's were another team that no-showed today, 2 hits, tiny little stadium. I really like these lefties batting close to each other in the order. They simply just did not get it done. Both were incredibly hot. You live with the results. And then, you're going to get rewarded eventually, and I'll show you guys that on Dabble. This was a great, little slip I built until I decided to add Gossman as the last piece. Boston fooled me, some of their numbers. It made a lot of sense to take this under. He had 0 in the game before that, 0 strikeouts. Enter the freaking Red Sox. They're in a little bit of an offensive slump, but I think they're going to snap out of it today. It's a bold call here. And then the same thing, Michael Harris, he was one of those players, guys. Had a great track record, literally 6 of 12 coming in against, I can't remember who the pitcher was for Philly. Oh, Tejon Walker. The batting practice. Unbelievable how bipolar the Braves offense has been in this series, to be quite frank. This guy had the dream spot, dream matchup, historical track record. He had a great game the day before against Chris Sale Zach Wheeler and the Braves, or the Phillies. I can't speak right now. So it was disappointing. We hit one of these slips, we have a profitable day. So it is frustrating. So I had that better slip too. It was closer than it looked. We missed 3 props, but just the game flow wasn't there on a few. Like I said, what's his name gave up. Let me see if I can refresh this. Actually, I'll pull it up real quick. I just load these to a dead thing so I can show you guys the photos. Here it is. Okay, so Shota, bad read. You got to understand something, though. This was the coldest offense in Major League Baseball. Dude usually pitches pretty good at home. We had good conditions. I did call the under in that game and got it done by 1 run. But he had a bad game. Like Texas's bats woke up. McGill got it done by 1. Fadot, he was probably the one that was, this was 1 away from a push. And then Irvin, he gave up 3 in the first inning. I'm like, oh, this is going to cash easy. And then he literally went 5 straight innings and only gave up 1 hit. The Dodgers, like, come on, man. So this was a lot closer than it looks, except for Shota. I mean, if you guys flex this, we were very close to, hitting some of those. It's just the way it's been going. But we're gonna bust the freaking slump today. I have a sportsbook parlay for you guys that I really like. And then we're going to come over here on Dabble and get back on this kind of streak that we were on. So that's where this free play is today. We're going to start with this one, and then I'll go over to the sports book and get you guys set up on there. Now, like I mentioned, a lot of you guys that signed up recently, you just came in at a bad time because we've been hot. And we're going to get hot again. It's only a matter of time. So I'm going to probably drop something today for a VIP UFC 314 week pass. I am going to have to put a limit on it at this price to kind of hopefully like a little make up to you guys, try to get you back in, because I know we're about to get hot. I've been through these peaks and valleys before, and I want to make sure you guys can make some money this weekend with us, because it's like the worst feeling ever when you're on a 5-day slump. People believe in you, they buy a package, and then you have your worst stretch in 2 months, and then all of a sudden, like the moment they get off of it, you go fucking nuclear again. I don't want that to happen to you guys. So I'm going to drop something. I'll definitely have to put a limit on it, but so make sure you pay attention to that. You know what I'll do? The guys that were on those day passes and weekend passes, I'll send it to you guys first, give you the first crack at it. And then once I kind of see it stall, then I'll open it to everyone else. Probably won't take long. So yeah, anyways, today's play is on Dabble. I do love this one. They give you a free $25. If you're not on there and this is legal in your state, guys, this is where the big boys play, okay? Nobody sets slips like this on fucking Prize Picks. I'm just telling you the truth. If you set a play like this on Prize Picks, I mean, you're still making money, but you're losing money. And the difference between the 5X and the 6X a lot of times is the difference in profit. It really is. So if you notice, a lot of YouTubers and guys that are really into what I do, like all of these cappers that we like to, make content for you guys, most of them, when they're saying Dabble plays, they're either going 10X or 6X, okay? No one's setting 3 picks on Prize Picks. So, and we were really hot. This is like, unfortunately, right before you guys got on that weekend pass. Look at all these slips we were just cashing. So I like this a lot today. We're going to take Bryce Turing. He's the leadoff hitter for the Brewers, okay? And they've been just absolutely crushing up here in Coors Field. We have another great day of conditions. If we come take a look, Coors Field's got a 32% run boost. Extra base hits are off the freaking chart. Great day to take some base props too. So I'm going to have a bunch of different looks at this, hopefully. But yeah, it's pretty simple. 4 of the last 5, he's gone over this 1.5 bases. They're on the road, so they're guaranteed most of the time 5 plate appearances. Yesterday he got 6 because they scored 17 runs. So, and he only got 4 here, which is actually kind of a little surprising. But they've scored 7 runs, 8 runs, and 17 runs in their last 3 games. The 2 in Coors, 7 and 17. So I really like this. I think we're going to get rewarded today by hopefully betting on this game. It could be like the ultimate letdown spot, but I don't think so. I like the time of day this is being played at. It's like 2 p.m. Central. So yeah, that's going to be leg number 1. Then we're going to stack his teammate, who's been absolutely nuclear as well. We're going to get a little more aggressive here and take him for 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. You could take the bases, but I think this is the play to go here. So a little bit about Feltner too. The pitcher that they're playing this is bases. So where is Jackson Tree? Okay. So yeah, 3 straight games he's hit this. The one before that he had 2, 1, 2. So he's even close right here. But yeah, the 2 games in Coors, look at this, 10 hits, runs, RBIs, 5 hits, runs, RBIs. So he's dealing. Feltner at home last year had an earned run average somewhere between 5 and 6. It was definitely high. The righty doesn't scare me at all on the mound today. Good plate appearances here for so what's his name? Must have had a pinch hit or something in this game. So yeah. The track record, 1 for 5, and the other guy was 1 for 4. So it's not like amazing, but I just like the way the Brewers are playing at Coors Field right now. They obviously enjoy playing there. I remember last year when they played there, a lot of these guys just seemed to like playing at Coors. There's a lot of high scoring games in that one too. So we're gonna take Jackson Churio. Anytime you get a over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs at even money, that's actually crazy. Usually these are like plus 140, plus 150. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, Feltner, nothing crazy here. Giving up a 245 batting average lifetime against this roster, but half of this is probably in a different stadium. So just keep that in mind. I think this is a really good spot to back these two today. I like what their offense has been doing, and we're gonna roll them. And then the third pick, a guy that delivered for us yesterday on Dabble. Thank God. His team, however, they've been struggling a little bit. He's been the only one kind of carrying the load. They got me today. Gossman, the strikeout numbers. I saw the strikeouts per game. I was like, wow, Boston's actually down. And then I thought back to like the beginning of the season where Devers was really struggling. I was like, yeah, it was mostly just Devers. He was the one that was striking out all the time, like really inflating this number. No, I was wrong. They let Gossman come in there and look like Nolan freaking Ryan. So, anyways, Devers, what do we got here? Is this 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs? Yeah. Not sure why this is only negative 115. I thought it'd be higher than that. You can see he's hit this. He's been on a pretty steady run. This is where he was cold. He started getting hot here. He had one here, one here. A lot of this is because his teammates aren't driving him in. These are both hits, and then yesterday he had 2 hits. So if his teammates can like step up a little bit, maybe get this up to 5 plate appearances, I really like our chances here. I got a bold prediction. I think he's going to smack a double off the wall up there on the Green Monster based on the way the wind is going. He did it again last night. So this is where you look too on paper. This is about as good of a spot as it gets. 14 plate appearances lifetime against Chris Bassett Hounds. 500 batting average, guys. 7 total hits out of 14 plate appearances. 3 of them were home runs, and it doesn't even show the rest of them. But there was 3 extra base hits as well. So I really like Devers today. I like him for bases. I like him for hits, runs, RBIs. It just feels a little too low here. So that's the slip on Dabble. Pays 6.6x. Feel like we're due for a free pick winner like this. I tried to get a little more aggressive yesterday with Better. Didn't work out, but maybe we'll back it up today and smack this slip. 6.6x. I like to bet quarter units on these guys. DFS is much harder, because, you think you have all the reads and somebody will always still let you down. You see it. There's constantly one guy in my slips that just fucks us. So just keep that in mind. I like to be conservative with these. I like to bet quarter units, which is $25 for me. And then on the books, that's where I get much, much more aggressive. So I do have a book slip for you. Let's head over to DraftKings here. Now, I thought about taking the Guardians, but Cannon, I think he might have been at that game that I went to. I think that might have been him, or it might have been someone else. Let's actually look him up real quick if you guys just want to bear with me. Cannon. Let me go look at this guy in 2024. Why did it? Oh, because Devers is still up there. So let's go to 2024 strikeouts. Okay, so I would assume it was a game against the Mariners right around early July, maybe 2-1. No, that definitely wasn't it. No, maybe it wasn't him. It must have been another guy that I was thinking of. Yeah, because it definitely wasn't in August. There was yeah, I don't remember, but I backed this Sox pitcher to the game I went to, and he literally gave up 6 runs in the fucking first inning. Well, he gave up like 4, and they pulled him, and then the reliever gave up a bunch too. So, anyways, these have been 2 close games. It took the Indians to the bottom of the ninth to win the first game, and then White Sox almost came back and won yesterday. It was 2-3. So, it feels a little expensive on this price. If we're gonna pick a side like that, I'd rather just get some better odds. So, what I'm gonna do today, I'm trusting my bones on this one. Pretty high run total here, and then a pretty high run total here. Now, I think Boston's bats wake up today. We got Walker Buehler on the mound, and we got Bassett on the mound. 2 righties, very hittable. If we look at the conditions at Fenway, the home runs are down, but everything else is pretty mild here. So we're going to attack, and this is actually the first time I've seen Kauffman Stadium actually have pluses here. So it looks like we're going to get some decent weather tomorrow. But I really like this Coors Field, and we're going to attack this Fenway game. I think it's just like the matchups. I called the Cubs going under yesterday, called them over going the day before. You just kind of get a read, and a lot of it just has to do with the pitchers on the mound. So these are two guys that, like, Bassett's given up a lifetime 292 to this roster, and then Walker Buehler. It's a small sample size, and this is actually when he was actually still a pretty solid pitcher. He's never been the same after Tommy John surgery. I believe that's what he had on his throwing elbow. So 231 average. I'm not putting too much weight in this. I'm just saying, and I like Bassett here. If we look, just at a couple of these guys, Bregman's had a lot of success. Now, he's been cold. I'm hoping he wakes up today. Weiler Abreu also been cold in this Toronto series. He's 4 for 10. These are some good numbers. These are, 3 lefties right here, and then you got Bregman, the righty. So it looks like the lefties. Duran hasn't really played the best against Bassett, but he's a guy that, just comes out of nowhere too. Tristan Costas, all these guys at least have at least a hit. We may see Neff Snyder in their lineup today. It's very possible. Hopefully they don't strike out a ton. Hopefully they can just freaking when Devers hit his double in the second inning or third inning, I think it was, his second at bat, I was like, boom, we got that done. And then the next 3 guys, so I guess it was Abreu, and I can't remember who was in the order yesterday, but I know Abreu was one of them. 3 straight guys all struck out. Might have been Casas too. It was very frustrating. So hopefully today they wake up. Nobody wants to get swept, especially at home. I expect the Red Sox to show up today. So what we're going to do, because I like both of these pitchers to give up some runs today, we're gonna go over here to game lines, and we're gonna take an alt total. So lines have been pretty sharp. This actually has been bumped to, looks like 9. It looks like, or no, maybe it's still at 8.5. Sorry, that was the alt line. So I like over 6.5. I think we find our way to 7 here. This is very juiced. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over to Milwaukee and Colorado. We're not going to do the same thing here. We're going to pick one team. I do think that Quinn Priester is definitely a hittable guy here. I don't mind this over. I really don't. I think there's a good chance it gets there, but this also could just kind of be like a letdown spot. It's high-scoring game so far. What we want is we want to go over here to team props. Where's team props? Team totals. Here we go. And the Brewers have a total of over 5.5. So this is even money, right? So we're going to just simply take that down to, instead of having to need 6 runs, we only need 4 runs. We pair these two things together. This pays $114. So a $225 bet, that's 2.5 units for me. It gives me 2 units in profit pretty much. In fact, if I just put $1 more, it would. So that is the bet I'm going to place right there. That's your free pick, little parlay. Over in the Toronto Red Sox game, I really hope I'm right about the Sox. They need to show up today for us to get this done. Toronto could honestly do this on their own, but we just need I feel like if we can get the Sox to chip in 3-4 runs, this is going to smash easy, because I like Toronto to score 3 or 4 runs. So, and then just the Brew Crew total on the road, we're not fading this team right now. They're playing lights out, and they got Feltner on the mound today. It's another good spot, another good righty. Got great conditions. I like this a lot. Like I said, it's 2.2 units to basically win 2 in profit, guys. I like this -114 to -150 range on these little parlays that I like to do. And the lines are so sharp that when you take these down like this, you have a really good edge, especially if you already believe in the first place. So just keep that in mind. That's actually all I got for you guys today. Stay tuned for that weekend pass. I just know we're gonna bounce back. I'm feeling it. Tomorrow we're gonna be light on VIP. I'm gonna really dig deep in the lab and just get down on freaking UFC 314, guys. Okay, gonna get behind the lab, find out all. It is kind of a tougher card to pick winners and losers, I think, but I'll find us an edge. I always do, and we've been profitable in UFC. I think 4 out of the last 6 weeks, and most of those have been like big bangs. So, or 6 events, I should say. All right, that's all I got for you. Peace.